All right, so the new Parallel expansion Aftermath has been out for a week, and I think it's about time that we start thinking about nerfs in the game. And when I'm thinking about nerfs, so I'm going to give you a list of what I think should be changed and how I think they should be changed. And I'm not going to mention any cards from the new set. I think there are problematic cards from the new set, like the Cathari Relic and some of the Marco cards, especially the 2/4 thing, the 3 mana thing. But I'm not going to mention those cards. I'm just going to mention older cards because I don't think they're going to nerf cards from the new set just yet because it's so fresh. I'm going to start off with Cathy. Cathy is the strongest deck in the game. I think everybody agrees. And yeah, I think that there's no reason this should be a 5/5. I'm not going to lie. I feel like they should change Catherine to a 4/4. And obviously that's not going to solve all the issues, but I feel like that's a good start. The Bannerman. This card has just always been a staple in Marco. It's just so strong, especially now with the 0 cost effects that we have in the game and the 3-drop that gets you cheap effects. So I think that this card should become a 2 energy 2/2. And it's still probably solid, especially with all these effects now. You can still get it off the Catherine's Rallying Cry. It's now going to be a high roll off of that. But it's just that it's so hard to deal with and it just snowballs right out of the gate. I think it would be a nice change. All right, next up is Crimson Fleet Machinist. Yeah, I think this card has always been solid, just like that other card. Maybe not necessary for a change. I don't know. Maybe you just get rid of the second part of the text here. My change would be just to make it a 1/1, and I feel like it would be fair. It's still going to be a good card. I feel like you're still going to run it in every pretty much every Marco deck. This card just does too much for 1. Something has to change. And these are just my suggestions, okay? If you're totally able to disagree with whatever I have here, but I'm just throwing out these changes that I would make and just like the cards that I would touch in these decks. Just like food for thought. All right, my favorite card in the game. I love it so much I made a video about it. Pocket Dimension. So this card was apparently 4 energy in the past and they changed it to 3. I do think that it should be changed back to 4 or that it should be just reworked in general. And when it comes to reworks, they can really do anything with the card. I'm not going to sit here and think of a rework. And making this 4 cost doesn't fix the card, in my opinion. But in conjunction with my other change that I would make to Shroud, I think it would fix it. Which would be to make Engine Whisperer cost 2 and be either a 2/2 or a 2/3. I think this card is enabling the Pocket Dimension. And it's enabling other stuff, like just like I was playing against Neve before. Lambie was playing a Neve deck that didn't even use Pocket Dimension, and it still was able to draw through the whole entire deck and gain 1,000,000 energy, all because of this card right here. Of course, in conjunction with Lord Harf as well, but yeah, I think this card just has to be changed. Just has to delay these stupid combos, I think, just a bit more, because this is too good. And if you change this to 2, then usually they need multiple of these on the board, so it would require them to spend 4 energy for these instead of the 2. It's a big difference. Yeah, I still don't like that these cards kind of exist because these combos are ridiculous, but that'll be the change that I would make. I am aware that Cathari is super strong right now, especially Scipius with the new relic that just came out. And like I said, I'm not changing new cards because I don't think they're going to change new cards. So I'm going with the Tabula Rasa. I think this is like the only card in the deck from the past that we could change. And I think that it's a problem. I feel like the relic is a problem mostly because of this card. This card just allows you to go so wide so early. As Scipius, you could just bank a unit. You have a 0/1. You play the Tabula Rasa. You have another 0/1. And then you have a 2/2 that you played or something like that. And then they all get +1/+1 the following turn. And you can bring this card back with Triumph of Europa for free, which is also kind of a problem sometimes. I feel like this card is just too good. I think 0 cost cards are usually a problem, as we see with like the Engine Whisperer stuff as well. So yeah, I would change this card to a 1 mana 1/2. And maybe that means the card's never played again. It's totally possible, but I think it's just too strong as a 0. I think just always being able to play a free body from either your hand or the waist just really easily is just too good, man. And I feel like if we can slow the meta down, a lot more cards from the new expansion would be playable. And that's what we want. That's what we should want in the game. It's just like a whole new kind of game, bro. We don't want just these same old decks, including like 2 new cards from the new expansion, and they're just OP as hell, and nothing can keep up with it. And we don't get to even see what half these new cards, how these new cards play. Maybe some of them could use a little bit of a buff, but purely going off of these old cards still, I think Nehemia, I pronounce it Nehemia. Nehemia needs to be changed. In my opinion, I just really dislike this 0-3 into the 3 mana guy into Nehemia, and then it's just like a lot of decks just lose to that. It's just too strong. 7-7 on turn 3, buffing your other stuff, buffing the 2-4 to then a 6-6, like it's really too much too early. So I would change this card to a 5-5 personally. I know I might get hate in the comments. Maybe I'll get some love. There's a lot of Earthen haters out there as well. But yeah, I'm just kind of tired of this card steamrolling at the beginning if I don't have the exact answer to deal with it. I think Earthen actually does have a really good chance in the meta right now, and I don't think it's necessary for it to just create like non-games with some of these starts that you have as Nehemia. And those are all my changes. I hope that you enjoyed the video. Please let me know what you think down below. I'm sure you will. Everybody's usually very hypercritical of my suggestions for nerfs in the comments, but I do want to hear from you, and I hope we could have a nice discussion, a friendly discussion, where you don't just bash me and tell me, oh, I'm glad that you're not a dev on this game and you're not in charge of balance because your suggestions suck. Well, these are just suggestions, all right? Just opening up the conversation with these cards, with nerfs in general. Hope you enjoyed the video in some regard. Maybe you agree with something, maybe you don't. I don't know. Hope you subscribe to the channel, though. Hope you leave it a like and a comment. Blah, blah, blah. I'll see ya in the next one. Thanks for watching. It's ya boy. Peace.